Well, welcome everybody to our 2025 January class. It's great to be with you guys. Happy New Year. We're very aware as we're filming this for you all. We were having a conversation live just about all that's been going on in LA County, and we just want to send our heart and love to you all as well. One of the things that we were talking about, especially when we're dealing with stress in any way, is to take care of ourselves. And that entails physically, emotionally, relationally, and spiritually. So we're going to be, in just a moment, we're going to be doing some movement. And I do want to mention to y'all, air quality is super important whenever there is any type of a fire or any type of an issue related to the air quality. So one of the things that highly recommend is to do what we're going to do today is to stay indoors. Make sure you're doing movement that you are not outside, especially if you're in an area that may have quite a bit of fire, smoke, and whatnot. So it's really important that you're protecting yourself from any type of challenge. Secondly, when it comes to stress, one of the things that's really important is to pause for a moment and really take a mindful moment. And I'd love to do that with everybody if you're okay with it, guys. Wherever you may be right now, if you can just sit back in your chair or if you're standing, just relax. I want you to close your eyes just for a moment. And I want you just to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. And I want you to do that about 3 times. Again, close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that. Take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose, slowly exhale through your mouth. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale deeply. Hold that breath just for a second, and then slowly exhale through your mouth. And now what I'd like for you to do, I want you to take your right hand and I want you to place it on top of your heart. And I just want you to allow yourself just to feel the rhythm of your heart beating. Breathe deeply again. Inhale deeply through your nose. Hold your breath and then slowly exhale. And as you're just keep that rhythm going, guys, just relax your breathing. I want you to feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. Feel the rhythm of your breath as it passes through your nose and also through your mouth. And I just want you to acknowledge any stress that you may be feeling, anything that your body may be feeling. Pay attention to any part of your body where you feel like you may be holding some stress right now. And I just want you to allow it to soften with each exhale. As you breathe, as you inhale, and as you exhale, just feel that tension, whatever it may be. Maybe it's in your head, maybe it's in your shoulders, maybe it's in your stomach, maybe it's in your back. Just allow this rhythm of breathing to relax those muscles, to relax your body. I just want you to keep that rhythm going. And what I'd like for you to do is I want you to think about helping your mind to be calm with just this thought. You can tell yourself, I'm safe, I'm strong, and I'm resilient. Remind yourself that this too shall pass. This is a very difficult time for all of us, everyone in the LA County area, in the Southern California area. But what we're learning is how strong and how loving and how caring this community is. And I want you just to continue to remind yourself, whatever you may be feeling, it's okay. Tell yourself that. It's okay. Whatever you're feeling right now, it's okay. It's okay to not feel okay if that's where you are right now. Continue to breathe deeply. Allow your body just to relax. Start with your head. Begin to allow any pressure, any tension in your head just to relax. If you want, you can lower your head, bring your chin to your chest. Just allow the weight of your head to bring your chins gently to your chest And as you continue to breathe, inhale deeply, slowly exhale. And again, repeat for yourself, I'm safe, I'm strong, I'm resilient. I have options. I have family and friends that love me and are here for me, neighbors, community members. I'm not alone. Now, what I'd like you to do is allow the weight of your head to tilt and just allow your left ear to come down to your left shoulder. And then while you're placing that hand on your heart, continue to pay attention to that heartbeat. I want you just to just breathe deeply. Inhale deeply through your nose and slowly exhale through your mouth. Relax your breathing. Again, if you'd like, repeat that affirmation. I'm safe. I'm strong. I'm resilient. This too shall pass. Come back to center. Let's go the opposite direction, guys. Allow the weight of your head just to allow that right ear to come down to the right shoulder. Relax your breathing. Allow yourself to use this time as a prayer, as an opportunity to just be grateful. I'm hearing so many stories of individuals that have lost everything and they continue to be grateful for having their family alive, having their loved ones alive. It brings us back to a deep gratitude for things that we can't control. Last time, guys, I want you to lower your head again down to your chest. Breathe deeply. Remind yourself, it's okay if I don't feel okay. Remind yourself that you're not alone. Remind yourself that you are strong, you are safe, you are resilient. Remind yourself that this too shall pass. This will pass. And what I'd like for you to do, guys, while your eyes are closed, I'd like for you to just think about one thing that you're grateful for. And it's tough sometimes to find gratitude when there's so much tragedy around us. But if there's anything that you can hold on to this morning that you're grateful for, just think of that right now. Whatever it may be, find that place of gratitude that you can just hold on to. Take a deep breath, inhale deeply, slowly exhale, and go ahead and open your eyes. And I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear what gratitude, again, it's difficult to find gratitude like with difficulty like this, but if anybody wants to share, we can take a couple minutes just to share what are you grateful for, even in the midst of such difficulty, such pain. Is there anything that came to your mind and your heart as you were doing that little mindfulness exercise?
I'm just great. Actually, that was very relaxing. So thank you very much. But no, I'm grateful for my health. That's the one that came to my mind, my health, because it's like when you're down, when you're sick, when you're going through, you can't help yourself or others when you're down. So my health is what first came to my mind.
Thank you, Crystal. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. I see a couple of hands up, Rhonda and then Catherine.
I'm grateful for God's mercy and grace
Mm,
and how he continues to bless and continues to meet all our needs, regardless of what's going on, and how he just shows up for us. So I'm thankful for that.
Makes me emotional to hear you say that, Rhonda. Really does. You know, guys, that's the hard part, isn't it? As human beings, we like to have order, we like to have control, but we don't realize unless something like this happens how little control we have over so much. And that to have that trust, to know that God, no matter what we're going through, is there, for us. Thank you for that. It's a great reminder. Catherine.
When I was doing the exercise, I was thinking about how grateful I am to just wake up for like another day. I thought about a lot of things. I was grateful for the fact that I am able to move my body in so many different ways because I know that there's people that are unable to. Um, Grateful for the roof over my head and the people that uh th- that I love and care about are like okay, and just grateful to be here in this class with you guys. So those are all the thoughts that were going through my head.
That's awesome. So lovely. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. Anybody else want to share?
Well, Angeline put in the chat that she says, I'm grateful for each new day. I'm blessed with family and friends and my Lacers family and group. Thank you so much, Angeline.
You
And
know,
then
I love you guys.
we love you too.
Yeah,
And
that's
we depend on on all the layers of government and social services that kick into gear during emergencies. So let me see, there's something, okay. So glad that the Pasadena Convention Center was a shelter in the storm. That's true. Thank you so much, Sandy, for sharing that.
You know, I'm also grateful for when I see and hear what so many people are going through in life.
Mhm.
I can't complain.
Mm,
I just keep blessing the
Yeah.
Lord and praising the Lord. I tell myself I can't complain. I won't complain. I'm thankful.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So good. So true. I love it.
And also Brenda stated she's grateful for every day.
Yeah. Every day. Right. It's so good. So good.
Faye, she's grateful for her family and her friends. Thank you, Faye. Rhonda, your hand is up again. Go ahead.
Yes, I do want to share. I have some wins. Okay, so this year I've really been faithful going to the gym. Renewed my Silver and Fit. So I
Come on.
read 4 times last week. I'm doing the strength training with the Silver and Fit class, and then I'm in the Zumba what is it, Aqua Zumba class. And that's been a lot of fun because you work your whole body but you're in the water.
I love
And
it.
so that's been a lot of fun. And like last year, I guess you guys remember me saying I was, scared about my hair. But you don't immerse your head in the water. You
Mhm.
keep your head up. So nothing is really hitting your hair, and so just you may get a few splashes, but I was just thinking about how we let fear keep us from doing things that we don't even know what's the result is. I mean, I was so concerned about that, but it has nothing to do with my hair because my hair is not even touching the water. So I've been really excited. I look forward to all the days that I go. So that's been real exciting and fun for me.
Yay, Rhonda. Come on, give it up for Rhonda,
Yeah,
guys. That
thank
is so
you.
cool. I love it. I love it. You're in the pool. I remember you talking about that, Rhonda. I remember you sharing.
Yeah.
I,
So it's
that's
been fun. It's been a
uh,
lot of fun. We dance in the water and everything. She plays music and we have a good time.
that's so good. So good. Thank you for sharing that.
Uh-huh.
Anybody else want to share something you're grateful for? Something that just it hit you maybe this morning or you've been thinking about it. You're grateful for whatever that may be. We'll be thinking about it, guys, as we come back. And I have a question for you as we come into 2025. I hope your holidays were wonderful. I hope you had a great Christmas or Hanukkah and New Year. I'd love to hear from you what your hope is for 2025, because we're going to talk about today how to create stronger, healthier habits. And we're going to be seeing each other hopefully relatively soon. We're going to be getting a walk in. We'll be sending some dates out your way and doing a walk together. It'll be wonderful to see you guys in person. That'll be a few months out, but even thinking about what would you like to see happen in your own health and well-being? Is there an area of your life you'd like to be stronger in? For example, physically, I'd like to have stronger legs or stronger arms or stronger endurance or stronger flexibility or better balance. We're going to be covering all these topics as the months come out over 2025. But let's pretend, guys, let's pretend that it's a year from now. Okay, it's January 15th, 2026. And I'd like for you just to pretend for a moment, what would you like to experience? Like, what would you like to be stronger in? Whether it's physical, emotional, relational, or spiritual, or maybe one of each area. I'd love for you to write that down and share it with me. I'm going to give you my email again. I'd love to hear from you. But let's take a moment just to, what's your hope? What's your word? Maybe you have a word for 2025 that you really want to lean on. I've heard a lot of wonderful words recently, like transformed. I want to be transformed a year from now physically. Maybe you have some significant pain or inflammation that you want to improve upon. Maybe there's an injury that you want to strengthen or change. But I'd love to hear from you. What would be your hope for 2025 if you were looking back and saying, yeah, I'm so glad that I did that? Much like Rhonda was sharing, like she really wanted to try this aqua Zumba class and she's doing it now. And that's wonderful looking back, I'm sure. So I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. Anybody want to share? What's your hope? What would you like to see happen this year? And a year from now, say, oh, I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad that I decided to do that.
Well, it's basically ties in with your theme, A Stronger You Academy, because the first word that came to my mind was stronger.
Mm.
And it's like stronger in every area of my life, physically, mentally, spiritually, just stronger. Because, and even in, I want my legs stronger. I want to be more be able to balance my body, because, I'm noticing different things going up and downstairs, things like that. So it's just, I want to be stronger,
Great.
and I saw a video once where the guy said, if your legs are strong, it helps to hold your body up, and you'll be healthier if your legs are stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know true or not, but that's what I heard somebody say.
So true.
That's my word, stronger.
I love it. I love that, Crystal. That's so good. And guys, I'm going to give you all, we're going to have a 30-day focus for this month. And it's interesting that Crystal brings this up because I'm going to give you an exercise that you can do every day, and it will help you have stronger legs. And I promise you this, I promise you, when we see each other next month, your legs will be stronger if you do this every day. I promise you. In just 30 days, you will have stronger legs. So, Crystal, I'm so glad you brought that word up. We're going to do it together today. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very simple. It'll probably take you 1 minute a day, just 1 minute, and your legs will be stronger. And I know that sounds like a lot to offer, but I promise you it will. So that's a great word, Crystal. Anybody else want to share? What's your word? What's your hope? What would you like to see in 2025?
I wanted to focus on the abs, and then I've been focusing on that's physically, and then spiritually, I've just been trying to stay open for whatever God wants me to do, and He's been opening up opportunities for me to do more at church. I joined a leadership class as 10 months. And so it's going to go from January to October. And then it's supposed to present some opportunities for us to do, some kind of leadership thing at the church. And then I also signed up to be a table leader at our Wednesday night Bible study that they're getting ready to start. So
Come on,
doing
Rhonda,
that.
look at you. Aquatic Zumba, leadership training.
Go.
Come on. That's
I'd like
So
to
awesome.
give.
I've been on the move this year.
I love it. I love it. It's only January 15th and you've already,
Right.
I love it. It's so good. Thank you for that. Really good. Anybody else? Anybody else want to share? What would you like? What's your hope? What's your word? Maybe you have a word for this year. I would encourage you to think about that. If there were a word, and it may take some time, pray about it, think about it, reflect on it, but something that, like what Crystal said, just being stronger. I think, just one word that may help you throughout the year. Anybody else? Rachel, I'm looking right at you, Rachel. I know you want to share.
Mm. Sean, I don't have like a single word. I wish I knew like a word for this, but I want to try other types. No, other forms of like fitness. Like I want to do maybe boxing classes, maybe maybe actually do Zumba, maybe do like a cycling class. I want to like expand on different forms of like exercise because I don't do that. So I think that would be a really nice goal to have
Love that.
completed by next year.
There is a word, Catherine, and I don't know if it's a word that resonates in the fitness world. It's called cross training, where you do
Mm.
different types of exercises. But it sounds to me like I love your courage in saying, much like Rhonda's, I'm just going to go try it. I want to go experiment, right? So that's so good. Excellent, excellent. I see Rachel.
Uh, yeah, she has something in the chat. Rachel said that, sorry, Rachel said, I would like to look back at 2025 that I ventured out of my comfort zone, prepared myself health and fitness wise, and traveled to distant lands. My first trip is in April, so I am committed to do this now.
Yay, Rachel. I love it. I
And
love
then
it.
Angeline also had something to say. She said, I think she said that she wants love, peace, humanity, and unity in the world. Let me not let me not forget equal justice.
That's good. That is really good.
That's
Awesome.
excellent.
Anybody else want to share? Anybody, a word, a thought, and then we're going to get into some movement, guys. I want to get you moving because it'll make you feel better. I promise you. It definitely will make you feel better. Anybody else want to share? Okay, so little home. Oh, Sylvia, yes. Come on, Sylvia. Go ahead and unmute.
I want to exercise regularly for this year, so I'll get back my strength and be more energetic. And I'm wearing my mask because the air quality here is very bad.
Yeah. I'm really glad that you're doing that. And Sylvia, where are you? What part of LA?
In Alhambra.
Okay, yeah, that's super smart. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. And we're going to dive in, guys. In fact, I want to share with you what we're going to be doing today is we're really going to be talking about 30 days. So I want you to think about the next 30 days and how we can use these 30 days to become stronger, healthier, and create new habits. That's the key, guys. If we can create habits this year that are simple, easy, small, that's going to be really important. In fact, I'm going to share with you in just a moment. I do want to remind you, if you're new, if you have not filled out this document, we'd love for you to just make sure that you're prepared to move, that your health is you're healthy and fit, that you can actually perform the movements. Let us know if you need any help in any way when it comes to your own physical activity, if we need help with modifications. And by the way, guys, the movements that we're going to be doing in just a moment, if anything presents discomfort or pain, want you to stop, pause, because a lot of the movements that we will be doing are, you can do it in a chair, you can do it standing, so we can modify. Just want to make sure that you're aware of that. We're going to do our joy workout. That's our best thing to do. So I'm going to have you all stand up. Go ahead and stand up, guys. and just let's just move for a little bit. We're going to keep our heart rates down. We're not going to really go too high with our heart rates. We want to make sure that we're not bringing in too much oxygen today, especially if you're in an area that we need to be very careful with, especially as we were just talking about. But what I want to do, guys, I want you just to pay attention to the moves in this particular workout. Again, this is one of our favorite workouts that we like to do. It brings a lot of joy. It brings a lot of flexibility and motion. So in fact, let me do this. I want to make sure my audio is on as well. Yeah, here we go, guys. Okay, get ready. Here we go, guys. Standing.
Ready to tap into joy? Let's do this. We're going to start with a gesture of hope,
Here we go, guys.
reaching for the sky. Reach up with one arm and release. Other side, stretch and let go. Keep going. Find an easy flow. Palms open. Look up. Touch the sky. Now reach both arms overhead. Big breath in and release. If it feels good, bend your knees to sit back, then rise up as you reach. This movement welcomes you into your body and connects you to the breath. And relax.
Good job, y'all. Way to go.
Now let's sway side to side. Sway your shoulders. Sway your arms. Sway your hips. This move helps you find freedom in your body and connect to the music. If it feels good, move through space. You can turn around, make the movement as big as you like. And let it go.
Good job.
Find the beat and bounce your shoulders up and down. Rock your feet, bounce your heels. Now, try holding your hands by your sides and pretend you're skipping rope. How would it feel to throw your fists in the air like a kid bouncing with joy? Now relax. Take a breath. Time to let loose and shake. Shake your hands. Relax your body. Now shake out your arms, one at a time. How about both arms at once? Shake out your legs. Kick it out. Try shaking any part of your body. That was great.
Here we go, you guys. Here we go.
Time to jump for joy. Put your hands in the air. Raise your fists. Try looking up. Chin up. Chest up. And if it feels good, add a side-to-side bounce. Lift your heel as you pull your arms down. Lift your chest. You can turn it around. If you want an extra boost, try jumping jacks. And breathe. Now we can celebrate. Bring your hands to your chest and imagine throwing confetti into the air. With each toss, look up. Lift your back heel and open the front body. Add a bounce. Fabulous.
Last
You
one,
made
guys.
it. Now it's time to freestyle. Anything goes. Let the music guide you. Take a bow.
Oh boy. That was fun. That was fun. How you feeling, guys? Good. Good, good, good. Have a seat. Have a seat if you'd like. Take a break. Well done. How's everybody doing? Love to hear from you. That kind of movement is gentle, soft, and allows you to move without a significant amount of breathing. Hopefully, you got your heart rate elevated a little bit, but not too much, right? So, love to hear from you guys. How you doing? Everybody okay? I absolutely
Yeah,
love
we
that.
actually have some comments in the chat from Rhonda
Yeah.
and Peggy. Rhonda said that she feels great, and Peggy says that she feels good. And I feel like I'm a little bit out of breath, but I needed that. It
Yeah,
was
no,
needed.
that's not uncommon. That's not uncommon. Good for you. Good, good, good. Anybody else?
Oh, I wanted to say, I felt like I could do more this time. I don't know if it's from the strength training, but I felt like especially the jumping jacks, because last year I couldn't do that many, but this year I did a few
Oh,
more.
wow, Rhonda.
Yeah, than I did before, so I felt a little stronger.
That
Yeah.
aqua Zumba stuff, Rhonda, is working,
Uh-huh.
working.
Yeah, I think it's working.
That's awesome. Thank you. Anybody else want to share? How are you feeling? Did you notice, especially any change emotionally? Maybe you feel a bit lighter. Some may say that they feel a little bit more energy. I see Sylvia. Yeah, energized. Good. Excellent. Awesome. Okay. You guys ready to talk about habits? Let's dive into really how do we improve or change our behavior. And it could be nutrition. We're going to cover the gamut, guys. In fact, we're going to talk about habits in depth. I'd love for you, if you have these notes are going to be available for you so you can download these. Crystal, I hope you got my document that I sent out to y'all. Did you get that? Yeah. So you'll
Yes, I
have this.
did.
Yep. You'll see a PDF, guys, that has all this. Maybe for some of you, you want to really make some headway on nutrition. We're going to talk a lot about nutrition this year. We're going to be discussing really how to how to eat clean, how to, obviously, we're never going to be perfect with our nutrition, but hopefully a little bit better each day and each week and each month. Movement. Most of our discussion is going to be centered around exercise, and that's movement that you could do in your house. It's movement you could do outside. We're going to talk a lot about 30 days to strengthen a particular area of our body, which will be fun. We'll be every month we'll do something different and new, which will be a lot of fun. It may be in the area of spiritual health or mental well-being that you really want to improve upon. So my homework assignment for everybody is to identify what's your hope for 2025. What's an area of your life that you'd like to strengthen or improve? Okay, and it could be any area, but let's talk about habits. There are some old habits we may want to change, and there are some new habits that we'd like to create. How do we do that? I want to share with you, believe it or not, guys, I don't know if any of you have seen this statistic before, but did you know, according to the University of Scranton, that 92% of us that set New Year's goals, we don't achieve them? So only 8% of individuals who set goals achieve them. And let's talk about that 8%. What are they doing? Well, believe it or not, those are individuals that will accomplish these 5 things. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the power of habit. We're going to talk about assessing our habits. We're going to talk about a very simple formula. I promise you, if you learn this formula and apply it to your life, it will dramatically improve your habits. We're going to talk about how to rig the game. I'll explain that in a little bit more detail. And then we're going to talk about your 30-day experience. So I'm going to leave you with a 30-day challenge. Okay, so let's dive in, guys. Let's talk about this particular book. I would highly recommend it. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's maybe $12. Phenomenal book. It's a book that I would recommend for you to read this year. It's called Tiny Habits by Dr. BJ Fogg. I love the subtitle, guys. It says it all. Small changes that change everything. So little tiny changes that we can make to change our lives. And we're going to talk about that. So a couple of quotes by Dr. Fogg that I thought were really good. The first one is, the problem is with the approach itself. It's not with you. A lot of times we think that the problem is us, that we're not disciplined or we don't have concrete goals. Believe it or not, it's not us. It's the systems that we've developed in our lives. And some of us, we're just not aware of those systems. And we're going to look at that. We're going to learn a new approach. I love this quote by Dr. Fogg. If a behavior is super easy to do, you don't need much motivation to do it. And that's the way we need to think, guys. We need to think small. We need to think tiny. We need to think 1 minute instead of an hour, because what you'll begin to see is like this snowball effect when you do something little. And I'm going to show you this in just a moment. I love this quote too. This idea of the easier a behavior is to do, the more likely that behavior is to become a habit, right? That if we can do it regularly, it will become more a part of our lives. And that's true of anything. in our lives. So we're going to be diving into that. And a couple of other things that I want you to think about is I'd love for you to write this phrase down. Tiny is mighty. If we can do something daily, like what I'm going to be giving you in a moment, and do it consistently, after time, it becomes automatic. It's kind of like driving a car. Do you remember, guys, when we were 16 years old or maybe 15 years old and we were given the opportunity to go to driver's training, right? Remember how scary that was? Like driving a car? Or I can't believe I don't know how to drive a car. It was overwhelming for some of us, right? But over time, we began to, learn how to look in our rearview mirror, our side mirrors. It became automatic. Now, if you drive a car, it's probably automatic. You don't think about it at all. That's the same process that happens when we start small. Remember when I don't know, I may be dating myself, when we had driver's training, we weren't even in a car. We were in a simulator like a car, right? So we couldn't hurt anybody. Same thing with creating a habit. We're going to create little simulators that will help you create new habits. I love this quote. The way you do big things is doing them tiny. The way that you can improve any area of your life is start small. Start where you feel like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I definitely can do that. Okay? So, and last quote. Forming habits is not about willpower. And this is important, guys. It's about designing. It's about revision. It's about creating a system that's automatic, that we trip over. And I'm going to show you how to do this. It'll be fun. I think you'll enjoy this. Okay, so let's talk about this. Daily habits are the engine that move our goals. And this is really important. This is from another great book. James Clear wrote a book called Atomic Habits. Another phenomenal book. 2 books this year, if I were to recommend on the habit side, would be Dr. Fogg's book, really this idea of tiny habits, and then James Clear, Atomic Habits. 2 great books. But he says daily habits are the engine that move our goals. Focus on systems, not goals. That's very interesting. So he's saying focus on the way that you apply these goals to your day. So let's dive in. I'm going to give you an assessment right now, guys. I'd love for you to take out a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil or your phone. Feel free to bring out your phone. This information will be in your guide, but a couple things when you're taking this assessment. Number 1 is I want you to answer anywhere from 1 to 5. And as you go through these comments, these statements, I want you to score yourself. Just think about, for example, if you never do this particular behavior, give yourself 1 point. If you almost never, give yourself 2 points. If you sometimes do this behavior, give yourself 3 points. If you do it fairly often, give yourself 4 points. And then 5 points for if you do this often, if you do it regularly, okay? Be honest with yourself. This is for you. No one else has to see this information. And I would really like for you to take this assessment next month when we come back. And here we go. I'm gonna read them to you. I have 10 questions for you, 10 statements, and I want you to be as honest as possible, okay? So let's start. We'll start with number 1, up at the upper left. Number 1, I consistently follow a routine that support my long-term goals. I consistently follow a routine that supports my long-term goals. For example, I want to become more fit and I regularly exercise every other day. That would be a good example. So again, 1 to 5, 1 being never, and 5 being all the time, always. Okay, number 2, I take time to reflect on my daily habits and I adjust them as needed. I take time to reflect on my daily habits and I adjust them as needed. That's number 2. Again, 1 to 5, give yourself 1 to 5 points. Number 3, I have systems in place that make my positive habits easier to stick to. I have systems in place that make my positive habits easier to stick to. And I'm going to share with you in a little bit what some of those tricks can be, okay? 1 to 5. Number 4, I make small incremental changes instead of overhauling everything at once. For example, I really find myself making small changes with my diet as opposed to going on a diet for 6 weeks. So I'm really thinking small as opposed to grandiose, right? It's actually healthier to think small, believe it or not. Number 4, I make small incremental changes instead of overhauling everything at once. Number 5, I focus on building automatic habits rather than relying on motivation. This is a big one. This is a big one. Most of us, we lean on motivation. If I feel like it, I'll do it. If I don't feel like it, I won't do it. Versus building habits, building a system in your day. So score yourself 1 to 5. I focus on building automatic habits rather than relying on motivation. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to score them, add them up, answer 1 to 5. So from number 1 all the way to number 5, just give yourself a half score right now. Maybe it's 12 points, maybe it's 15 points, but add up number 1 all the way to number 5. Okay, let's go to number 6.
Sean, before you go on, what was the 1 to 5 again?
Yeah, let me go through those questions or the statements again. So number 1, I consistently, did you mean the scoring? The actual scoring?
Yes, yeah, what the 1 stood for versus what the 5 stood for.
Yeah, no, good. Number 1 is never, 1 point is never. Almost never is 2 points. Sometimes is 3 points. Fairly often is 4 points. And then often is 5 points. Does that help, guys? Yeah? Go ahead and score yourself. And then I'm going to go to number 6. Okay, here we go. I track my progress regularly to stay accountable to my habits. Are you tracking, let's say, your nutrition? Are you tracking your fitness? Do you keep a diary? Do you have any system in place that helps you track your progress? Okay. Again, be honest. There's no shame. If I don't, that's not a problem. We just want to identify that. Number 7. And again, identify yourself, guys, 1 to 5. 1 never. 2 points is almost never. 3 is sometimes. 4 is fairly often. 5 points is often. Okay. Number 7. I design my environment to support my desired habits. In other words, good example. I go to the store every Sunday, I shop healthy, and I stock up my shelves in my fridge so I have food that's healthy to grab. That's really positive. That's a very healthy behavior. I design my environment to support my desired habits. Again, 1 to 5, 1 being never, 2 being almost never, 3 being sometimes, 4 fairly often, 5 points for often. Okay, almost done, guys. Number 8, I focus more on creating habits than setting big, ambitious goals. So there's nothing wrong with setting goals, but believe it or not, we need to pay more attention to creating habits. How do we do that? That's the purpose of our discussion today. Again, 1 to 5 on that. Number 9. This is a big one, guys. Most of us don't do this. I celebrate small wins and progress along the way. Now, you'll notice in our group, we always do that. Every month we celebrate our wins, and it's really important to do that, but eventually daily. We want to learn to celebrate daily our wins. But again, go ahead and score yourself 1 to 5. Never is 1 point, and 5 points is often or somewhere in between. And then our last question or statement. I'm committed to improving my habits consistently, even when I face setbacks, even when I go off my nutrition plan, even when I don't exercise. I'm committed to improving my habits consistently, even when I face setbacks. Okay? Add up 6 to 10. Add those up. How many points did you get from 6 to 10? And then what I'd like you to do, if you get those 2 grand totals, total 1 through 5, and then 6 through 10, and add them all up together, guys. Add them up together. And would love to have you just keep that score. If you want to share it, you can. You're more than welcome to. I'd like for you to circle that score on your notepad or on your wherever you're using it, because roughly, again, you'll see this score improve. I promise you. If you scored somewhere between 10 to 30, this training is really helpful. It will be very helpful for you. And I'm really glad that you're ready. You're ready to start habit training. If you're 31 to 40, if that was your score, you probably have already been practicing some form of habit training, which is good. If you're 41 to 50, you're skilled at this. You may want to improve a little bit, but you're definitely skilled. If you're 51 to 60, you're someone that could coach others in doing this. So I'm going to pause for a moment and see if anybody wants to share their scores. Anybody want to share? And again, this may be something that you want to keep to yourself, but if you want to share, we'd love to hear from you.
My score was 37.
Great, Crystal. Awesome. Awesome. Was there one, Crystal, that stood out to you? Like, I'd like to start doing more of that.
I think it was the last about the setbacks.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
might have been
last-
that last question. That last
Yeah.
question.
I'm committed to
That-
improving habits consistently, even when
setbacks that I, get back on track quickly.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's good.
improving my
It's
habit even when I'm faced with setbacks. Yeah.
great. Good, good, good. Anybody else want to share any thoughts on this little assessment? So I want you to keep your score handy. Hold on to that. I see a couple people. Rhonda, thank you for sharing. Yeah, Rhonda was right about a 40. Good. So what we're going to do right now is something really important. In fact, I was really excited about sharing this with you all because this is groundbreaking information. How do you form a habit, a good habit? How do we do that? I want to show you the science. The science is unbelievable. So here it is. Number one, and I want you to write this down. I want you to identify one or two habits that you'd like to improve. And it could be the habit of regular exercise. It could be the habit of eating healthier. It could be the habit of stretching regularly. It could be the habit of keeping a journal. It could be the habit of reading scripture. It could be the habit of whatever you feel like you'd like to improve on. It could be your finances. I'm going to show you in a moment how to do that with any area of your life. So number one, identify one or two habits to focus on. Now, these could be good habits that you would like to add to your life, or these could be negative habits that you know that you do. Here's an example. It could be that you eat late at night and it's a habit. Like it's 9 o'clock, you're feeling like you want a snack, and you just have this habit of eating every night at 9 o'clock. And that's a habit. But first step is identifying, oh, that's something that I do regularly. I don't even think about it, I just do it, right? Okay, we'll come back to this. Number two, create a formula, a system to support your habits. I'm going to show you a system in a moment that you can follow that's foolproof. It absolutely is Dr. Fogg's best work. Number three, track your progress. Track your progress, guys. I promise you in the next 30 days, and we're going to experiment together on this. If you track your progress, you're going to increase your chances of success significantly. And then number four, review and adjust. I would highly recommend reviewing your information at least weekly and adjusting it weekly to see how it's going. Okay, so that's how we do it. Let's go into the formula. Okay, this sounds a little bit like math, but I promise you it'll make sense. So the B stands for behavior. What's a behavior that you would like to adopt? Let's say, for example, I want stronger legs. I want to exercise. So that B stands for behavior, okay? C stands for a cue. What's a cue? What's something that would remind me to exercise my legs? What's something that would cue me, like an alarm on my phone? Good example. Every hour I'm going to set an alarm to go off to cue me and remind me, oh, you need to do your exercises, right? That's a cue. It's a trigger. That's another name for it. What can trigger my behavior? I need to think about it and what's going to do that for me. Okay, and we're going to come back to this in a minute. A stands for this idea of action. What's the action that I need to be involved in now? Whether it's eating something healthy or it's moving. Okay, what's the action that I want? Here's the key, guys. This is the magic. It needs to be small. It needs to be a tiny action. It can't be too big because we avoid big things. The smaller it is, the better. And I'm going to talk to you about that in just a moment. R, this is pretty cool because it spells car, right? Or B car, but car, C-A-R is the formula. Q, action, reward. When you accomplish the behavior, now you're going to reward yourself. You're going to go, way to go, Sean! Woohoo! Believe it or not, your brain accepts that thought, that reward, and it begins to change. This is the reinforcement that we want, okay? Then we're going to do this together. Okay, you ready, guys? Let's give an example. So what's the behavior I would like to challenge you all to do? I would like to challenge you to think about hourly performing a movement that is a squat. Oh, so let's go through that again here real quick. So what we're going to do, the behavior is going to be a squat. That's going to be the first thing I'd like for you to think about. And the cue is I want you to think about on your phone every hour, I'd like for you just to put an alarm on your phone. That's it. Okay. If your phone goes off every hour, I know it's going to seem a little, or every other hour, or maybe 3 times a day, you're going to set your phone to do 10 squats. That's it. Just 10 squats. So notice what we're doing. It's small, 10 squats, and we're going to do this every other hour or every hour, right? And at the end of the day, what are we going to experience? It's going to be a lot of change. Now, the action will be small, 10 squats, and the reinforcement, we're going to just yell, way to go, Crystal, way to go, Catherine, way to go, Sylvia, right? So I'm going to show you guys really the movement itself. Let me show you, in fact, in your notes, I want to make sure that I walk you through this so you guys can see this. So here's the movement I want to show you. This particular, when you open up your notes, guys, this is going to be your daily routine. So some of you may want to start with a wall sit. That's a great exercise. Some of you, I would highly recommend perform a chair squat. In fact, let's do this together right now. If you have a chair that doesn't roll on you, if it's just a static chair.
Hold on, give me a second. I have to.
What I'd love for you to do is, as you're sitting, I want to make sure that the chair does not move. I want you to stand up from your chair. Go ahead and stand up. Just like you'll see in the motion below. And then what I'm going to have you do, guys, is I want you to sit down in your chair again. Go ahead and sit down in your chair. So put your chair right behind you so you can sit down. Good. Way to go, Crystal. We're going to stand up again. Go ahead and stand up. We're going to do this 10 times. Good job. This time, what I'm going to have you do, guys, is I want to make sure that your feet are about shoulder width apart. As you bend down, I want you to touch the chair. We're going to bring our arms up, and then we're going to stand up. Good. Go ahead and stand up. Excellent. We're going to sit down, and we're going to raise our arms up as we stand up. Good job. Go ahead and stand up. We're going to sit down, lowering our hands down. Good. Raise your arms up to counterbalance your weight. Good job. We're going to lower down again. How many is that guy? I think that's 4. Here we go. Standing up again. Raising up. That's 5. Let's do 5 more. Same thing. We're going to sit. We're going to stand. Raising those arms up. Good job. Lowering them down. Well done. We're going to stand again. Come on up. Let's do 3 more, guys. Well done. Here we go. Coming down. Try to touch the chair. Sit in that chair. Standing up. 2 more. Just 2 more. Well done. Come on down. Excellent job. Standing up. Well done. Last one. Here we go. We're going to take a seat. We're going to touch the chair, and then we're going to stand. Well done. Come on up. And woohoo! Way to go. High five. Okay, so what you just did were 10 repetitions. Here's my challenge for you. Take a look at this chart. Level 1 for week 1, so it'll be this week. I'd like for you, especially if you've not done squatting, choose the wall sit and do it for about, 10 seconds or 12 seconds. Notice on day 1, it's 10 seconds or 4 squats. Day 2 is 12 seconds or 5 squats. Go all the way to day 7. It's a 30-second wall sit or 10 bodyweight squats. So we just did equivalent like day 7, guys. So that's an example of what you could do every day. And if you want to challenge yourself more, use the chair. The chair is more challenging than the wall. So again, depending upon your fitness level, I'd like you to choose whichever level you would like. Now, take a look at week 2. Notice how the repetitions are increasing. We're going from 10. Now, if you want, stay at 10. For some of you, you may want to just do 5. Remember the idea, keep it small, keep it simple. For some of us, we're not going to do 15 squats. We're going to do 5 squats or 10 squats. Again, make this your own, but notice the progression. For some people, they may want to increase a couple of reps every day, or they may want to stay at the same level. But notice how week 1 progresses to week 2. And then here we go to week 3. This is an advanced position. Notice what the hands are above the head. You have a ball behind your back. That's a definitely more challenging motion. And then the last progression is squatting with dumbbells in your hands. You can even raise them above your head and do a squat. That's very challenging. So this is something I'd love for you to print out, put it on your fridge. You can follow the progression or just do 10 squats. That's all you need to do. So my challenge for you this month, and as Crystal brought this up, to all of us earlier, if you want to have stronger legs, I promise you at the end of 30 days, you will have stronger legs just by doing 10 squats every day, just 10. 10 on Monday, 10 on Tuesday, 10 on Wednesday. Or if you want to do maybe every other hour of your day, that's 40 squats a day. That's significant. So I'm going to stop for a moment to see if anybody has any questions, and then I want to show you the formula, how you can use this in any area of your life. Does anybody have any questions? Oh my gosh, Angela, did you say 42? Was that? Oh, that was the score of your that was the score of your little assessment. I thought
Yeah,
it was
because
42.
I printed out your slide on that one, so that way I
Ah,
could read the questions individually.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. That's wonderful. 42. Now, one thing I would love for you to do, if you would like to, you can assess your strength in your squats before we even begin this. So for example, notice the chair motion this gentleman's doing here. Try to do as many squats as you can, sitting in the chair, standing up, sitting, standing. Notice the chair, guys. This is super important. There are no wheels on this chair. Please don't use a chair that has wheels when you do this test. Make sure that the chair is stable. It doesn't move on you. But try to do as many squats as you can in 60 seconds. Now, don't go quickly. Go at just a standard pace, and see how many repetitions you can complete. At the end of the 30 days, take the same test, and I guarantee you your scores are going to be significantly better. Significantly. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we all can come to our session next month and say, my legs are stronger. In just 30 days, I got stronger, right? Definition, tone of muscle, muscular strength. Our muscles become firmer just from doing this particular motion. It strengthens, as Crystal was saying, our core, our abdominal muscles, especially if you use your arms above your head. But again, that's a progression. So let me be quiet for a minute and see if anybody has any questions at all. Y'all doing okay? Yeah?
When I'm at my kitchen sink, that's normally when I do squats.
Okay. I
Just
love
in
it.
case I have to hold on to something.
Okay. I love it. Let's talk about that, because that's the formula I want to show you. As we look at forming new habits, let's talk about how to do that. Number one is get specific. What behavior do you want? Make it easy. How can you make it easy to do? Like doing squats at the sink is super easy. And then trigger the behavior. So that's a good example. Anytime I go to the sink, I'm going to do some squats. That's a cue. So let's do this together, guys. I want to show you a couple things. People change best by feeling good, not by feeling bad. So we want to make sure that we're finding habits that make us feel good. So let's do this together, guys. I want to show you the formula. Here it is. So let's talk about really the idea of the Maui habit. This is a good example. What Dr. Fogg began to do is every time he created a new habit, he wrote this down. After I blank, I will blank. And this is what he said. After I wake up and put my feet on the floor, I will say it's going to be a great day. So this is a way of creating a formula. After I will. Let me show you another one. Let's say about nutrition. After I start the coffee maker, I will fill my water jug. That's a great formula right there. After I blank, I will blank. And I want you, again, you'll have a copy of these slides, but that's a really good way of creating a habit. How about this one? After I tie my shoes, I'll write down my nutrition intentions for the day. That's a great formula. Really solid, right? Because we put our shoes on every day. Maybe I'll think about writing down my food for the day. How about this one? After I eat dinner, I will make a healthy lunch for tomorrow. That's a great one too, right? Do you see what Dr. Fogg's done? He's kind of helping us create this formula. Let me show you one more. I love this. After I brush my teeth, I will take my vitamins. So notice what we've done. We all brush our teeth. That's the habit we're already doing. If we put our vitamins right next to our toothbrush or our toothpaste, then it's going to become a habit. It's going to become over time. That's going to become a good habit. Let me show you a fitness one that I think you're going to like. After I go to the bathroom, this is what Dr. Fogg did. I think I've shared this with you guys. When Dr. Fogg was studying this, he realized throughout his day that he had to go to the restroom. So what he did was every time he went to the restroom, he'd come out of the restroom and he would do two push-ups. Notice what he did, guys. He picked something that he knew he was going to do throughout the day, and then he made it small. He didn't say 20 push-ups. He didn't say 30 push-ups. He said 2 push-ups. And guess what happened? His 2 push-ups went to 3, and then from 3 to 5, and then from 5 to 10, and then from 10 to 15. So you can slowly build the repetitions over time, but start small. Here's one. I love this. After I wake up, I will what? Put on my running shoes. I'll put on my tennis shoes. What if we put our shoes right by our bed, and the moment we woke up, we put on our tennis shoes? Now, you may not do anything, but it will make you think, well, maybe I'll do a little walking around the house, or maybe I'll do a little bit of before I get a cup of coffee, right? I love this one. After I talk on the phone, I will do 3 chair squats. Do you notice do you see where this is going, guys? So I want you to take this formula. After I blank, what is that? It could be, now that's got to be something you're already doing, right? After I talk on the phone, I'm going to do 3 squats. 2, 3. Way to go, Sean. Good job. That's it. That's the formula of creating a new habit. And I love this last one. After I turn on the shower, I'll do 1 stretch. That's great. So I'm going to stretch at least once or maybe even twice a day. If I take a shower once or twice a day, I can do some stretching. So this is a little way you can do your formula. You can do it for anything, guys, especially for emotional stuff. You know, when I stop at a traffic light, I'll take 3 breaths, 3 deep breaths, right? After I put on my glasses, I'll do a quick stretch. Makes me feel good. Do some deep breathing. After I brush my teeth, I'll place my phone in the bathroom. This is a big one. A lot of us are on our phone too much, and before we go to bed at night, it's probably a good idea to put it somewhere where you can't access it. And then lastly, I love this one. After I sit down to eat, I'll recite what I'm grateful for. So I hope this formula is something that you can practice. And what I'm hoping is that as we intentionally look at our squatting, again, week 1 to week 4, think about every day trying to create a formula for squatting. After I pour my coffee in the morning, I'll do 10 squats. After I eat my lunch, I'll do 10 squats, right? Think about how you can integrate these movements into your day. And I'd love to see how it goes for y'all next time we get together. So any questions at all? I'd love to hear from you guys.
You know what I like, Sean? When I wake up in the morning and still in my bed, I like to do one big body stretch all the
Yes.
way down my body and seem like it just makes me feel so good,
Yes.
because I tighten the body when I do that stretch and raise my hand.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's so good. It's so, and is it a habit now? You do that every day?
Oh, yeah, I do that every morning.
When did you start? Do you remember when you started?
I've been doing it for so long. I'm up there in age, Sean, and there's different things like a lot of the arm exercising and stuff.
Yeah.
I do that when I'm in my bed, laying
Uh-huh.
there with both arms. I'll go all the way, like north, south, east, west,
Mhm.
5 times east, 5 times west, and I'll
I
do that
love it.
until I've done 20 revolutions.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah.
same with the legs. I'd start out with 5 to take it up to 20 resolutions altogether
So
before I
good.
get out of the bed.
And that's become a regular routine for you. And you've done it,
Yes,
like you said, for years.
yes.
Good for you. I love it, Angela. That's so good. So good. And
Now,
that's
if I
how it
can
starts.
get
That's how it starts.
if I can get my housework to go like that, then it'll be.
Yeah, I hear you. That's so good. Anybody else want to share? What's the habit you want to improve? Rachel, I see you smiling again, kid. What are you thinking? What's coming to mind?
For
Any
me,
thought? Yeah.
for me, it's me the increase the increasing of the exercising and eating healthier. One thing that I want to do, with incorporating cooking more items instead of buying out all the time. So,
Great, Crystal. Okay, Crystal,
mhm.
would you mind if we play this game just for a second and we'll do the after I will. So let's think small, like focus on nutrition. After what's a habit that you normally do every day that you don't have to think about, that it could be like brushing your teeth. It could be anything that you can think of that you do regularly. What would be after I blank? What would that be?
Well, I do sit on my couch every day. There's a little spot I sit in to kind of relax. Like once
Good.
I get home
Good.
from work, I put things up and then I come sit to just kind of relax.
That's
You
good.
know, if I eat something, I sit for a while to let it digest before I
Mhm.
shower and do other things. So,
Well, and Chris, I should even ask you before we talk about the formula, what's something nutritionally you'd like to improve on? What would it be? Would it be shopping, for example, like shopping regularly every week? What would be something or writing your food down? What would be something that if you began to do that regularly, it would be something that would help from a nutrition standpoint?
uh, from a nutrition standpoint, probably shopping healthier. So I'm assuming probably writing down the healthy things I want to buy. Because a lot of
Okay.
times in the market, I get distracted, and you a lot of times buy things you didn't necessarily go in there for that, but you end up with it. So I'm thinking, yeah,
That's
just
great. Okay,
writing.
so that's perfect. So we identified
Mhm.
the healthy behavior. It's writing down what you want to purchase and having that list, right? Okay, that's perfect. So you mentioned sitting down. That's something that's very it's a routine. It feels good, right? I love what you said. It feels good to sit down. It feels good to relax. How can you incorporate after I sit down and relax, I will write down once a week that shopping list, right?
That would be a
It's
good way to do it.
so I'm just curious, what would help you do that? Is it putting a journal right next to that chair or that right next to the sofa? that you have your own little journal, your own little notebook? Yeah.
Yeah, a notebook. I have a pad. So yeah, you know what, that makes sense. That when I sit down, then I can jot down what I want to buy.
Love
That
it.
probably would, that would be a habit for me.
I love
A
it. I
change.
love it. So this is super practical, and maybe even tonight, Crystal, if you can get a notepad and even just put it by the couch. And you may not do it the first time. You may just sit there but you'll look at it and go, "Oh, I remember now. I was supposed to maybe write down one or two or three or four items, right?"
Right.
And pick a day, Crystal, that you normally would shop, like whether it be a Saturday or a Sunday or maybe after work on during the week. But if you're able to put a list together of 10 items, 10 healthy items, and they end up in the house, oh my gosh, that's huge. That's
Yeah, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I am going to do that.
good. Good, good, good.
Mhm.
But do you see, guys, how we kind of built Crystal's little formula for her? Like, what's the behavior you want to improve upon? It's nutrition or shopping for Crystal, and we all struggle with that, right? If we would shop once a week, healthy foods, and bring them in the house, we're much more apt to eat them. Much more apt. And sometimes like convenient, like going to a Trader Joe's, which they have healthier foods that are pretty easy to cook fast. And that also, so some of those discussions we're going to have throughout the year, what are good places to go to, like Sprouts or other stores that may carry healthier cuisine, which is good. I love it, Crystal.
Now,
Good.
I can say to Crystal, I write a list ever since COVID. I always write a list of what I'm going to the market, or ours are basically markets. We don't have corner stores or anything like that. I
Right.
always have a list, but I'm going to tell you this, girlfriend. Make sure you get what you have on that list first, because they're going to have some sales that you weren't thinking about. You're
Yes.
going to end up throwing a few more things in your cart.
That's good. That's so good. That's great advice. Great advice. Rachel, did you want to share?
Yeah, Sean, I was thinking about this, and this past month I had a cold, and so I couldn't get rid of it. And my friend says, "Are you taking your vitamins?" And I said, "Well, I have the vitamins, but I haven't been taking it."
Right.
So, how you said a habit is, I have to take blood pressure medicine. So I took my pill box and added the vitamins to it. And then I also started taking Metamucil in the morning because I said maybe that'll help me as well. So, and you're supposed to take Metamucil 30 minutes before you eat. So I said, well, okay, I'll do the vitamins and the pills at the same time. And so I've been doing that, and I feel I'm getting stronger. As a matter of fact, I've noticed that I'm able to get out of the sofa easier now. Before I
I
used to have to
love
go
it.
like this, and
Yeah.
and so now that you do the squat thing, I'm thinking I'm adding the squats because I have to wait the 30 minutes. I might as well stick in the squats. So that's my
I love it, you guys. This is so good. So this is a foundational discussion, guys, because throughout the year, we're going to build new habits and be gracious to yourself, right? If something's not working, if you created your formula, you could always rewrite it. You can always experiment, realize that, oh, that's interesting, that's not working for me. I'm not finding that that's helping me. That's good. That's good information. Be kind to yourself, be gracious to yourself, because we're always learning new habits. All of us can learn something new. But I'm super proud of you guys. Today we didn't do as much movement. There was a reason for that. I want to make sure and protect you. There is a workout in your information. So there's two workouts that are available to you that you can utilize. But my goal for you is to get the squats in. Okay, every day do at least 10 squats. Okay, you can do more if you want to, but just try to do 10 every day. You can increase, do one more each day if you want, but use a chair. Ideally, make sure it doesn't have wheels on it. And I would love to hear from you. My email, guys, again, I'm going to shoot it to everybody here. It's just Sean, SEAN, at personallyfit.com. email me. I would love to hear your hope for 2025. I would love to hear from you how many squats you're able to do in 1 minute. I would love to see those two things, your hope or your word for the year, and how many squats you could do in 1 minute. Please be careful, warm up before you do it. Okay. Just sit in the chair, stand up from the chair, sit in a chair, stand up from the chair, count how many you can do, go at a regular pace. Again, please be careful. Don't hurt yourself. If you do have a bad back or discomfort in your knees, don't worry about this assessment. You can do a wall sit, lean against the wall, put your feet out in front of you, and just slide down just a little bit. See how many seconds you can hold that position. Please be careful. Make sure you have a chair next to you that you can put your hand on if you need to. So again, not essential to do any type of assessment, but if you'd like to test your muscle strength, that's one way to do that. So
John, I want you to double check what you, because it says January 2023 on it. So I want to make sure you email me the right thing. I just
Oh,
looked at it
that's interesting.
and yeah, it says 2023. So
That
I
may
want to
be
make
the
sure.
wrong file. Yeah, I'll definitely check that, Crystal. I'll resend to you the 25 content because it is different for sure. So I'll make sure and
Okay.
yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you bet, guys. Hey, it's so good chatting with you all. My hearts and prayers are with everyone, your families included. Be kind to yourself. Remember to take care of you during this time. Obviously,